So, just looking at this Hakafa Gimel, we got into the idea that the RASHASH says this possibly is, I don't know the Sidur that well, is these 7 Hakafos, which you could do if you were davening in a Sephardi synagogue. And he says the Hakafa goes like this: Ma'atika, which is Eriganpin, which is Keser. Kavin lahamshek ma'atika, the kavana should be this, that you're going to start pouring or streaming, trying to get a word for lahamshek, to stream down, from Eriganpin, she he havaya benikud komotz. So this is Eriganpin. This is the beginning of the stream. And the nikud is a komets. Now, if you don't know your nikudim, here's a good place to learn them, except when you get to the bottom, it gets really, I don't know what the bottom is. It's so good. Here you have keser, chachma. Well, actually, this isn't a good place to learn them, so we'll take another look. It says like this. This Havaya, which has all these holomim, holms up top. It says the makif dezer anpen, shuha havaya berevia. It's a havaya with a revia. I guess this is the revia, because we're going to see the revia again. These strong dots. Then it's going to go down further, and it's going to take the makif of Yaakov, shuha havaya becholim, are going to mashpia this to Yasas. Then you're going to take this Havaya, which is menukad like this, Makif, which is the Makif of Leah. This Havaya represents the Makif of Leah, Shehi Havaya B'tseri Shva. Here it is, Seri and Shva. Then it says this Havaya, which is Komets, Pata, Makif to Abba. So that's what the Makif of Abba looks like. Patach. That light is going to go then to Tavuna. Then you're going to have this Havaya. This is your Kavana now. He's not explaining the universe. He's telling you what to do. That's what I'm telling myself. Then the next is 4 Patachs. This is the Makef of Yasus. Havaya B'Patach. Now let's go on, and we'll go to the next one, is 4 series. This is going to be, let's see, Umakif Debina, Shur Havaya B'Tseri. That's going to go to Yaakov, all of this shining. He says, from this Havaya, Umakif de Devuna Shur Havaya B'Nikud Elokim. This is Elokim. That's what the Nikud is. And that's going to go to Leah. So again, Yekaven with these. Now this is what he called a revia. Yekaven lahamshech min Leah makif dezah shurabavaya berevia, which is avaya with a revia. Now here we went and we brought these names, which were vocalized in a different way. Oh, there's a big mystery about what the vocalization does for me. So I just reading it. At any rate, these different types of avayas, these differently, the vowels are placed differently. They're going to go to Abba, then they go to Yisrael Saba, then they're going to Bina, and then they're going to go to Devuna. Then they're going to go, so each one, the diminutions are going down in diminution. The next one is going to go to Zeranpin, and then the Yaakov, and then to Leah, which is on the top of Rachel and Rachel. Now let's move along as we're still reading over here. So let's get to the next one. Now here is a formation that you see a lot in the RASHASH. And I'll tell you what I know about it, which ain't a lot, but I'll do the best I can. Now, after those are the kavanas that you had in the third In other words, if you were in a shul where this was sensible to do this, there was room for it, and you were able to do it, especially, obviously, get there early, you could do this, and have this kavan in mind. Now, let's first read it, the top part, and get a look at what this depiction, this illustration is about. So it says like this: "It's a v'yikavin lahamshik or makif megar da abba ve'ima." And then he says something that's a little bit more complicated. He says inside of the gar are oros, and the oros are the nechi. Which nechi? Nechi means which? It means the lights of neshama, the lights of chai, and the lights of yechida. And they're going to the or, which is called chaya. Okay, so as I've said before, the way to understand these strings, and you get a lot of them, is to start with the back. You're really dealing with the light called chaya. Inside of that light, there is also light. And here we're taking the top part of the light, which is the nefesh chayin yechida of that. Now, where is this all coming from? It's coming from the gar of Abba ve'ima. Okay. Now, the next thing is, as I learned with Rabbi Memran, is that these are the oros. Now, if you don't know the phrase cold summer, which I don't have it written down, I'm sorry. I probably should have this, but I'm just learning how to learn this. He says that one of these oros, I was going to go to cold summer. Cold summer means that the light of God is wrapped in kol, stands for kli, that's the kol of cold summer. Lavush, and then a lavush inside of that, and then a tsalam inside of that, and then molchin inside of that, what's the last one? We'll think of it in a second. And oros. Oh, that's it. And oros. But the oros come wrapped. Now they come wrapped is that the akya here is called the makif. Every or is a makif in the panimi, and the havaya is the panimi. On the outside is the light of the makif, and on the inside is the light of the panimi. Now, without the vocalization, which we have, this is the vocalization of Eric Anpin. So this is the light coming from Eric Anpin. So as far as the vocalization is concerned, that's where everything is coming from. Or makif and the or panimi. Then the light moves down. It moves down. And here we have the light of Chochmah, the light of Bina, and the light of Das. And then we have Chesed. This is the Menukud this is the Nikud for Chesed, and the Nikud for Gevura, and the Nikud for Das. Right, left, center. These are the lights coming down. Now he comes and he shows us the nechi of chaya. Let's just take chaya as a light. Chaya as a light has a whole naranchi, pronounced in Israel as narnachi, but it's the same thing. It's levels of light. Like refracted light, or the light that is closest to the light of the Ein Sof, which would be the Yechida. Very difficult to perceive. So this is what they look like. Starting out once again, we have, this is the Nechi, which is coming from Eric Anpin. And then after that, it's going to go to Chochmah, Bina, and Das, which also represents, over here he says, how do you read it? you would have to read it backwards. Then the He would be the Das, and then the Tseri would be, the Tseri would go along with Bina, and then the Patach would go along with Abba. Now let's finish up now. I don't want to get it too long. So it is an interesting piece for me, though. All of this light, this is all light. Okay? It's imagined. You have to use your imagination. This is all the Rashash is showing you. This is the light coming. V'yikaven l'hamshik makif ba'aba v'ima of ma'or choser, the Tiferet, the Zah. Now there's two different directions of light. One is a light that goes from the top to the bottom. That's Or Yashar. Another is the Or that goes from the bottom to the top, which is the Or Choser. V'yikaven l'hamshik makif, there's a light that goes along with ma'or choser, the Tiferet, the Zah, of the Tiferet of Zah, which is another way of saying the Zah, the Vok of Zah, Derek Piv, through his mouth, Shuhu Ekye, Benikud Cholam. Mouth is 85. So let's see, Ekye. So that's Ekye with a Nikud of Cholam. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with this, but I'll just play with it, and I'll say like this. Ekye is 21. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 dots. Each one of them is 10. That's 61. Okay, doesn't add up to anything for me. We're going to take that Ekye, and we're going to send it, we're going to shine it to Tiferet, the Nuk. We're coming out of Zeranpin, which is Tiferet. Tiferet, the Tiferet. Shuhu Havaya Benikud Cholam, which he says is that the Tiferet, the Nuk, looks like this because these are the kudos for Tiferet. Then there's a little prayer here. He said, Yehi ratzon b'fanecha Hashem Elokeinu ve'Elokei Avoseinu shebekoach segulas hakafa shlishis shekeneged pasuk, which goes along with this pasuk. Yaducho amim Elokem. Yaducho amim kulam. So, some sort of a gilui. It's the third day. The third day is the day of Tiferet. Yamashech od makif to Tiferet. So then you say like they have this kavana. You're going to take another makif for Tiferet to Zeranpin. El Malchus Nuk Kedisha to Zeranpin, to the Malchus, which is the Nuk Kedisha of Zeranpin. V'Allah Yachdav, and on me also. I think that's what it means. Allah is on me. Together, Yaakov Osano should surround us. Mikal Tzededena v'Yair Sham, on all of our sides, and shine there. Hayotzim Roshei Teves, and it comes out of these Roshei Teves. I'm being more careful about pronouncing the names. I'm thinking of myself that I'm more careful, even though that I have psak that I can pronounce the names, but also warning not to. So I don't know which is which. So we'll go like this. Hayotzim Roshei Teves Nun Gimel Daled Yud Kaf Shin. It is actually a name. So neged means maybe corresponding or against, opposite this name. No idea what it means. No Gibor, Dor Shei Yechudecho. This is the third of the Anabakoach, Kavavas Shamreim. Then it says, Titen the Roshacha Levayischein. Put on your head an escort of grace. Teves, the crown of Tiferet, to magnecho. He says, Ataras Tiferet, that is, the crown of Tiferet, should be a shield for you. Then he says, after saying this and having this kavana, v'yakif hakafa shlishis, you should go ahead and do the third hakafa. Well, that's the third hakafa. I think it was somewhat illuminating, however. Where am I? There we go. I think we got a long way to go, but we've seen a lot of things. I really don't know how I could work that into the way that I'm living my life right now. But it's nice to know. It's something to think about. This is Baruch Fleischman. You're listening to the RASHASH Sidur Rehovot Hanahar from the great Rabbi, the RASHASH, Rabbi Shalom Sharabi.